Hello. We will give a minute. There we go. Let's see who hops on. I didn't give any notice. I just had an interesting experience that I wanted to jump on and jump in here and share really quick. So for those of you who are new to Body Mapping with Laurel, I am Laurel Houston, the creator of Body Mapping and the founder of Reflections Inside and Out. And at Reflections Inside and Out, everything we do to help you love who you are inside and out. With body mapping, a lot of times we are specifically talking about the body, about the symptoms that we get, because symptoms are just messages. And so as you hop on, say hello, let me know you're here, and I'm just going to get into this. So I got home yesterday from a women's mastermind, and it was a really interesting experience for me because I was never the girl who played with boys. I was always the girl who was friends with a lot of girls. I have 4 sisters, and hey, Michelle, I have 4 sisters, and I was just always around girls. And so when the concept of a sister wound was introduced to me, I went, that's ridiculous. I've only ever been friends with girls. I was in a sorority in college. I've been surrounded by women my whole life, and it's great, and it's wonderful, and I love it. So, oh, Brittany, hi, sweetheart, I miss you. So I wanted to address this because for the first time in years, I feel like my sister wounds have healed. And yes, they are scars, but scars are just reminders of lessons once lived. So first, what is a sister wound? So many women have experiences with other women that that woman was in a position of trust. So it's not necessarily your sister, because some people are like, well, I don't have any sisters. Well, whether it was your sister, your sister-in-law, your friend, your aunt, any woman in your life who you had a deep connection or bond to that in some way, shape, or form has betrayed you. So this could be something as simple as you were in a scenario and they embarrassed you in front of the guy you thought was cute. Or you made plans and at the last minute they ditched you. Or there were actual major, like, cheated on your husband sister wounds. What this has caused is a lack of trust in other women. And I smile because at my retreats, this is something that a lot of women, when I ask them, what is the thing you're the most nervous about? It's not about the photo shoot. It's not about the content. It's not about arranging childcare. It is about meeting women that they don't know. And part of them is so excited because they're so hopeful. And the other part of them is terrified because what are they going to think? The trauma is always around packing. They're like, I don't know what to pack. I don't know what clothes to bring. And I'm not very helpful. I just say, bring whatever makes you feel comfortable and confident. That's what you pack. These are the excursions we're doing, and pack what you love. But this comes up when women are introduced to other women they don't know because of sister wounds. So without, does this ring an aha for any of you? Is this like, oh, wow, well, that's why I don't like women. And when I say you don't like women, it's like, okay, I can hang out with them. I can be with them all the time. But the women in my life don't know anything about me. You're the one that knows about everyone else's problems, but no one knows about yours. So a lot of times women will withhold their details and information in their life because of sister wounds. So I'm going to explain this in another way, just to really solidify and help you understand what this is. So women, when we get together, women are a we. Feminine energy is we energy. It's all about the creative collective. It's a coming together and taking what we had and expanding it exponentially. When healed women come together, they are an unstoppable force. When wounded women come together, they are also an unstoppable force, just in the other direction. And so one of the reasons that I felt called, I guess, today to teach about sister wounds is because at this mastermind retreat, we were told the first night was potluck. And then, the rest of it, we were ordering food in. And the whole point of it, we were all business entrepreneurs. We were doing hot seats and helping people problem solve where they were at in their business for that moment. And it was really interesting because we were all just told, bring a soup or a salad or a side dish. We were traveling from all over. It was just a quick potluck. So we started putting out all the food. And there were 5 of us. And those 5 women created a potlucked enough food to feed probably 30 people for the 5 of us. And this is what I mean about women are a we. And when we are collective, we exponentially create more. And this is when women are healed. When women are in a place of wounded energy or push and hustle and grind, women bring enough for them. It's competitive. This is mine, and you can have a piece instead of, I brought this whole fruit tray because I wanted a strawberry. That is the we versus the me energy of healed feminine versus masculine energy. And so a lot of times this shows up in women's circles because you'll have those who are healed and they are all about the sharing. They're all about, I can give from my overflow. They don't drain themselves. That's a sign of wounded if you are giving more than you actually have to give. But when you give from overflow, it's beautiful. And it allows you to give from overflow and you're not drained, but people can benefit from you. When we are in wounded energy, we are very protective of what we have. We go into lack and scarcity. We go into there's only one pie instead of, well, let's just make another one. And so this was a beautiful weekend because we were able to have this experience and it just completely showed up what healed feminine energy does. It takes a small fruit tray and turns it into a banquet meal that 2 days later we were still eating from this potluck. And that is the beauty of healed women coming together to heal women. And this is not a new thing. So yes, many of us have experiences. I was laughing because we were talking about different times in our lives that we really struggled with friendships. And I said, yeah, when I was in 4th grade, all of a sudden my friend from kindergarten just stopped talking to me one day. And I ended up having to go to her house and beg her to play with me again. And still to this day, I never knew why for 3 months she refused to talk to me. And that would be a sister wound. She was someone that I relied on, that I cared for and cared about. And all of a sudden she just stopped talking to me. And it was an even deeper wound because I then had to go back and beg for her to pay attention to me again. And that is a sister wound. So some of you have scenarios in your life like that you can immediately think of the person. And some of you more have just never really liked women. They intimidate you, they scare you, they bug you, you don't want the drama. Whatever your story or excuses about other women are, women haven't been your thing. And I want to speak into that a little bit too. So because a lot of what we talk in here, we talk about both the physical and the metaphysical, and this is more of the merger of both. So whatever your phraseology is, whether it's generational patterns, epigenetics, past lives, incarnation, whatever word you want to know, it comes down to this. You have programming. And there is part of your DNA that has been passed down to you from previous experiences, whether they were from your grandmother, your great whatever, a past life, whatever your belief is. Part of you had an experience where you were either betrayed by a woman so deeply that it has scarred you and your posterity. So, a while ago, we were doing our genealogy, and when you go back far enough, there is a possibility that one of the women burned in the Salem witch trials is my family line. And so it's like, well, of course we hate women. Women were forced to turn on other women to save their lives. And so throughout centuries of history, women have had to turn on other women in order to get married so that they could have a livelihood. Were looked down upon because they were not able to have children. And so there's all of this judgment and history of the way women treat each other. It's not just new. Because when wounded people are around other people, they tend to wound them. You've heard this before, hurt people hurt people. But here's the beautiful part. Healed people heal people. So if you can acknowledge, wow, I did not realize that I don't trust women. I'm afraid of what they're going to think about me and say about me when I'm not in the room. I compare myself to other women, whether there's a need to compare or not. How many times have you walked into another woman's home and decided that your home was better or worse than hers because of her decor? So we do this all the time. And here is the beautiful, hopeful part about this that really is what I wanted to share. There has never been a safer time in history, not for the last, I would even say 1,000 years. This is the safest time in history for women to stand up and have a voice, to speak truth, to show unconditional love to other women, and to heal the feminine line. So mother to daughter wounds, sister to sister wounds, because right now in history, women can stand up and be strong. They can decide who they are and step into their power unapologetically. And that is the beautiful part about learning and acknowledging, because for so many of us, we don't know what's hurting us. So for those of you that are like, I have sister wounds, just acknowledging that it's there. It's when, you've got a sliver in your arm, but you don't know, but it's hurting, it's festering. Well, now you know what's causing the wound, so it's time to take it out. Where are your sister wounds coming from? Are they from watching your mother be kicked out of her family because of choices she made as a teenager? Is it that rich aunt that no one wants to talk to anymore? So not only do you not trust women, but you don't want money because you don't want to be cast out of the family. Sister wounds are not just affecting your ability to build friendships. They're affecting your ability to attract people, resources, and money to your family and then exponentially grow it. Women are a we. We love to come together to support, to transmute, and to manifest, not on small quantities, but on mass quantities. When you get a group of women together that are on a singular mission to heal and help, lives are changed exponentially. And with sister wounds, they are something that keep women in disempowered energy because we feel like we have to hide. I live in southern Utah. It's warm down here. It's already swimsuit season. And if you are the type of mom who's like, well, I can't get in a swimsuit because I'm afraid of what other moms will say, that is disempowered, wounded energy. And you are not allowing yourself to live because you're afraid of what you think other people think of you. So the more you heal those sister wounds, those mother wounds, those things that make you go, I can't trust other people. I can't ask for help. I can't ask for support. People only are friends with me to get something from me. All of those mindsets stem from sister wounds. And part of my healing was allowing other women back in. Allowing women to show up for me and blindly trusting that they would. And yes, there were times where I was like, well, that wasn't actually what I asked for. But thank you for thinking of me. I let go of the expectation and I said, this is what I need help with. And I allowed people to show up and help me. And with every woman that shows up to help me, The more I heal, the more I attract healed women. And together we grow and do amazing, massive healing things. Oh, Devin, hello. I haven't talked to her in a long time. We are able to do these huge ways of building communities, of healing families, because here's the thing. Women are a we. And yes, a single woman can do monumental things. But if you have one versus 2 or 10 women who are all on a singular pattern, a singular focus of wanting to raise the vibration of something, they become unstoppable. If you want to know why throughout history, corrupt people in power have done their best to destroy women, it's because when healed women get together, we can heal the world. And so I invite you to just think for a moment, who is one woman, a daughter, a sister, a friend, a neighbor, a mother, that you know, okay, if I called on her, I can trust her to help me. Start there. Start giving your brain evidence that you can trust, that you can trust other women, because you're not just changing it for you. You are changing it in your DNA code. You're changing it for everyone who came before you and everyone who comes after you, because the world right now is trying to heal, and the world needs healed women because it makes things grow bigger and faster. Feminine energy is the healing energy. So when you step into that healed energy, it grows and it expands massively. So I don't know about you, but I now love getting together with other like-minded women. And this for me is kind of the factor. If I can say to a woman, this is what kind of day I'm having, and it's a crap day, and everyone becomes part of the conversation. Okay, those are great women to have. But you know who are the women I love to have around? The women when I say, oh my gosh, I just had this amazing experience. I just booked this fantastic vacation. I just had my highest month in highest financial month ever. I just had amazing sex with my husband. I have the best relationships I've ever had. When my life is going phenomenally and they show up to cheer me on, not to get something from me, but to cheer me on, those are healed women. Because healed women are not in comparison. Healed women are not in competition. Healed women will celebrate with you every joy, and they will mourn every sorrow without judgment and without expectation of return. So for those of you that are like, I am so not there, now you know why. Because there was a time, a moment, a person in your life that you trusted, that you loved, and they betrayed you, and it hurt. So I want to give you like an actual practical tool that you can put into practice with this and be like, okay, thank you for showing me I have a sliver. Now how do I get it out? Very simply, for those of you who are right people, journal. And don't overthink this. Literally just ask, do I have sister wounds? Your brain will say yes. And then just ask your heart, who do I need to forgive in order to heal? Who do I need to forgive in order to heal? And whatever names come, they don't have to make sense. Just write the name. Because here's the beautiful part. God, angels, and the universe knows who that person is, even if you don't remember. You could be like, Angelica? Who's Angelica? Well, she was a cashier at a grocery store that overcharged you and you never got your money back from. You don't have to remember each individual instance. Just write a list. Who do I need to forgive in order to heal? And then you read the list out loud and you say, person number 1, will you forgive me? Person number 2, will you forgive me? And you look and you read every single name afterwards saying, will you forgive me? Will you forgive me for holding on to this wound, for creating a space in which betrayal could live and multiply? When we hold on to hurt, it festers and it grows. So why not cross it off your list? And that's the next part. So after you say, person number 1, will you forgive me? It doesn't actually matter if they say yes or no. So for those of you that are super in tune, you may hear a spiritual yes or a spiritual no. But the beautiful part is it doesn't actually matter what they ask. The phrase, will you forgive me, releases anything that you are harboring, anything that you are carrying. So if you say, Lisa, will you forgive me? We don't say please. We're not pleading with humans. Will you forgive me? Lisa, will you forgive me? Cross her name off the list. Jody, will you forgive me? Cross her name off the list. There's no, will you please? We don't plead with humans. Humans are not actually capable of giving us the forgiveness that requires mercy and grace. So we give them choice. Will you forgive me? And now their choice is on them. So here's kind of the upper level or bonus part of this. Some of you may be like, oh, I know exactly who my wound is from, and I am never speaking to her again. Check in with that. And it may take a personal email. It may take a phone call. Hold on, someone's mowing their lawn. I didn't know if you could hear that or not. It was really loud. So it may take an email. It may take a phone call. It may take humility to really feel healed. And so if you are in a situation where that is what you feel called to do, then I invite you to have the courage to do it. And if you're like, nope, name on a paper, will you forgive me? Cross the name off. That's where I feel good. You will have a level of healing that is greater than you fully understand right now at this moment. Sister wounds have kept women shackled for years. Think about what happens when you get together with your friends, your high vibe friends, the women in your life that you are so excited to celebrate with and so excited that they will celebrate you. What happens when you come together? Problems are solved. Relationships are healed. Meals are created in abundance. Heal your sister wounds because you are a beautiful, trustworthy, divine woman. And as you show up in that divine healed energy, that is what allows everyone else to do it too. So pick people that you can trust and start trusting. Start healing that. Will you forgive me? And I guarantee you will be on that list. So when your name comes up on the list, ask what age or stage of life. So if Laurel Houston comes up, my question would be, what age or stage do I need to forgive? 9th grade, that would be a stage. 17, that would be an age. Make sense? Okay. So, will you forgive me? Cross their name off. If you feel inspired and called to do an in-person, hey, look, I've been holding on to this for a really long time. Will you forgive me for holding on to this? Here's what you don't do. And I want you to know that I forgive you. You're welcome. No. That is not what we're doing. As you acknowledge this person has hurt me, you are actually already acknowledging that you are willing to let go and forgive. That's why you're crossing their name off the list. You're not crossing them out of your life because some of these women may be your best friends and they have been for decades and you're like, oh yes, I do remember that one time I did that. So some of them don't need to be addressed because they're just going to drudge up old stuff, but others of them find the courage to say, I've been holding on to this. Will you forgive me for holding on to this? And it doesn't actually matter what they answer. You've acknowledged, you've surrendered. You've asked. You've given others choice. And the choice is now theirs to make. You already made yours by genuinely saying, will you forgive me? So heal your sister wounds and heal yourself. Heal the world. Heal your community. Heal your daughters. Heal your sons. And I hope that this helps. If you are, listening to this and you're not in a place that you can write stuff down, I totally get that. But as soon as you can, find a piece of paper, just number it 1 to 5. Like, don't overwhelm yourself. Just who are the first 5 people that I need to forgive? Who are my first 5 wounds? Will you forgive me? And then let it go. Because as you forgive and let go of these people, they will allow higher vibrational women to come into your circle. Healing women, healed women to come into your circle, into your sphere of influence, and to really shape and mold your life in a beautiful, beautiful way. And for those of you who have not yet heard about the Discover Your Divine Feminine event, all of my Year of You Journey students have tickets to it. They're coming. Those that are doing my advanced body mapping and breathwork, they're coming. And it is open for people that just want a general ticket to come. It's 3 days. And this is what I mean about the we. I have invited 3 of my very good friends, other speakers and mentors in my same industry, experts in feminine energy, to come and speak on my stage and give the women who feel called to come inspired content about really stepping into their divine. That is what healed feminine energy does. It collects and gathers so that instead of coming and just listening to me for 3 days, no, you get 4 amazing speakers, all in different areas of expertise. Allison is talking about prosperity. Phoenix is talking about the different sides of femininity, the different archetypes. Kayla has a doctorate in women's reproductive health and neuropsychology. Not neuropsychology. Nerves. And she's actually going to be talking about all of your biofeedbacks and rhythms and what physiologically puts a woman into burnout. So she'll be talking about that, and I will be teaching body mapping. So what your eyes mean, what your nose means, the shape of your lips, the width of your shoulders, they all tell me beautiful things about who you are. So if you have ever wanted to learn head to toe body mapping, what your toes mean, what your fingers mean, that is where I teach this, is at Discover Your Divine Feminine. And it was supposed to be a small, personal, just my group mentoring people. And I went, no, this is an opportunity for extremely high vibrational women to come together and heal. And as they heal, they will go home and continue to heal the world. So that is why it was turned into a larger event, because I wanted that collective, creative energy on an exponential level. So make your list, find your wounds. If you are feeling drawn or called to come to Discover Your Divine Feminine, it is May 12th through the 14th in Salt Lake City, Utah. And it will be amazing. I'm so excited for it. There are only a couple of VIP spots left. And the VIP lets you do lunch with all of the presenters on Friday and Saturday. Thursday night, we will be doing a private breathwork session that I will be leading. It's just going to be beautiful. I'm so excited. So I hope that this helps. In the very least, I hope that it brought awareness to one of the places that you can pull out this liver and start to heal, and just know that that's what was causing it. And now that you've removed it, you can continue to strive in becoming more whole and complete and the beautiful, divine, feminine goddess that you are.